Hi friends, the first step in putting together your trees of joy is to paint your wood. You can sand it first if you like. If not, I just used a bottle of acrylic paint from the craft store. I didn't worry about painting behind the wool on the big ones. The smaller ones I'd already painted behind before that occurred to me.
Okay, we have painted our shelf sitter wood. You don't need to paint behind where your wool is going to be attached. So now I'm going to take off the freezer paper off of the triangles gently. This one's, I get all of my freezer paper from the same place, but sometimes it likes to hang on more tightly than others. So there's that one. Here is this one. They are, believe it or not, 3 different colors, but you can do them any color you want. And this little guy right here. Okay, now let's get them marked so that we can go ahead and stitch them. The first one that we are going to mark is the little one. So let's pull that off. Okay, the little one, we're gonna do sampler type stitches on the little one. So I just wanna line up the lines. I'm gonna line him up like this because he has a little bulge there where I pulled him and distorted him a little bit. And I want these to line up correctly so it's easier to go with my, okay. I don't know how close my sampler stitches are gonna be, but if I just go ahead and put the lines, I'm using the one that is 3/8 of an inch apart. But if I just go ahead and draw 3/8 lines 3/8 of an inch apart, I will be able to keep things even right up to there. Okay, so that one is ready to stitch. Okay, let's do the middle one. Now the middle one needs a line up the middle, and I don't think I have my, I'm gonna line it up on my cutting board here. Yeah, he's lined up on the cutting board, and then I'll know where to do his line right down the center because I need to know where the center is. So there's his center line. He should be. He's also a bit distorted from pulling him off the, that's okay, we can pull him back into place. Okay, so here's his center line. And then on this one, we're gonna do branches that go out each way. And I think that I'm gonna go ahead and, again, I want him to line up straight, so I'm gonna line him up with my cutting here. I want that first one to be about 3/8 of an inch from the edge. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my 3/8 inch line right there. And then I'm just gonna draw this line. And then I'm gonna skip one because I don't want the branches quite that close. So I'm gonna go every other 3/8 of an inch, which will make them about 3/4 of an inch apart. And then we'll have to move up to here. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. And again, every other line. And we'll probably put the star up there at the top. I probably won't do that top one, but that will give me, now really these need to extend out here, but we don't want the branches to be perfectly straight, so it's okay if they are off a little bit. And then we'll go ahead and add fly and feather stitches in here, and then straight stitches with a different color over top. And then we'll need to trim your stick down to the right length to go on your tree, and then we will lash it in place. Now it's important that if your tree is crooked and you end up with your whole, if your stick is crooked and you end up with your whole tree crooked, meaning that you've got it, if your stick is curved like this, so you end up with your tree, when you attach it curved like this, that's not a good idea. So I kind of rolled my stick around till I found out where the best place was for it to touch down everywhere. And that's where I will attach it down. And I'm just gonna attach it. You probably could attach it with hot glue, but I'm gonna attach it by doing stitches over top of it all the way up. Okay, now let's mark the big one. Okay, this one I am using the Sashko templates. I like this one because of the stars. I think that it's perfect for a Christmas thing, but I don't want the stars to be in a row this way, and I don't want them to be in a row this way. So I'm going to turn it just slightly so that it's not in a row either way. Now, because I'm going to be doing these stars, I'm just going to mark the corners. I'm a little concerned that if I just mark corners, I won't quite be able to tell which ones are the stars and which ones are the little diamonds. I'm going to do the diamonds in color and the stars in gold, I think. So let's just go to town on marking here. And keep going. Then shift it and mark so that you've got everywhere marked, and then you'll be ready to stitch that one.
As it turns out, marking just in the corners was very difficult to tell what was a star and what was a diamond. So I went back and marked along the lines each time.
Okay, we have most of our stitching ready to go, but I wanted to show you how I did the fly stitches on this guy right here. So start out here on the end, except I don't want my knots to be out close to the edge. So I actually started in that first stitch. I went out, and I can tell that I do not have a chenille needle. I've got a tapestry needle on this because it doesn't have a sharp point. It doesn't always go where I want it to. Okay, so first we're going to do this first stitch out here, and then if you would notice on this one, let me see if I can bring it up enough without, can you see how they're uneven? That is on purpose. So that's what we're shooting for here when we do the fly stitches. It's a closed fly stitch. Lots of times the first one I have is short and the second one is long because of the shape of the tree. Going down this side, or the other side it was the other way around. Okay, and then I just tried to do them randomly. Sometimes it'll be a long one on one side, sometimes it'll be a short one, sometimes it'll be straight out, sometimes it'll be further forward. I was just shooting for them being uneven because I like that look better. If you want them to be even, you could do that. Let's do a longer one there. Lovely. Okay, so you need a green variegated thread to do this part, but other than that, everything else is sparkly threads. Let's try a short one this time on this side. I should have enough on this needle to finish this project. And we'll do a short one on that side and a longer one on this side. Okay, this step is optional, but I felt like I would be more comfortable gluing it in place if I had a backing on it. So I went ahead and cut a second copy of each of the trees. And I'm just going to start right here. I'm just going to whip stitch it together. And again, I want the stitches to go straight out. Okay, so we're just going to whip stitch around. So we're always going straight out. And I should have used applique pins, and then I wouldn't be having this much trouble with them. But I'm going to go ahead and whip stitch it as if I was whip stitching the wool down. On this one, the one that we used the Sashko stencil on, all the stitching is done on the front of it before I started. So this one is really just giving me a back. And so if I didn't want to put it on wood, I could use it as an ornament at this point. I could put magnets on it and use it as a very large fridge magnet. Just anything like that, because it'll leave me on this one, it'll just leave me with a clean back. The only knots that will show are the knots from my whip stitches here. On this one, I have not added the jingle bells yet. I decided that adding the jingle bells and where's my shorter piece of twig? I'll have to find my shorter piece of twig. When it's time to add that to it, I decided that I did want the durability of 2 layers to go ahead and add those little jingle bells on there. And so I'm going to whip stitch this one together before I do that. And with the third one, again, all the stitches are done. So I'm just going to whip stitch that together. Then we'll come back and talk about how to attach it to our wood.
Place your wool on your wood so that you can see how much extra is going to stick out all the way around. That'll help you know where you need to put the glue. I felt like it was easiest to put tape on it first. It's just painter's tape. Then give it plenty of glue, a nice layer of wood glue. I used a little brush, 1-inch foam brush, to spread it out nicely in that shape. And it's not thin. I knew I wanted it to stick well to the wool piece. So then I just had glue where I wanted it, and then you can go ahead and press it down. Then once I had it secure on there, I flipped it upside down and put a weight on top of it to hold it. The exception to that was when I was doing the bells. And with those, first I very gently with my fingers pressed in between the bells to secure that wool to the glue that I had. Then I took a towel that was folded in at least 4 layers and turned it upside down on that towel to put something heavy on it so that I could get as much pressure as I could everywhere without hurting those jingle bells. Okay, we'll see you next time.